Let's try this again. Sorry it's taken me so long. I got kicked off Facebook, and my video didn't record. And if you saw it and I didn't see it, I apologize. I am currently, hold on, let me see if I can change this filter. Black and white, super orange, kind of brown. Yeah. Green's not really my thing. That'll work. We'll go with black and white. And I'll sit back here. So, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope that you can join me live. I haven't done a live video in it's only been about a week. But I haven't done any live videos with substance lately because it's just been a struggle getting on at night. This is actually the first time in a while that I've been up pretty late. I'm going to turn the TV off. Hold on. There we go. So welcome to my guest bedroom turned office turned playroom, soon to be turned into a nursery / modifying as a playroom and office at the moment while I am moving furniture again because I don't know, it's a pregnancy thing. I do it every time. But I wanted to just stop in and share some of the good vibes that I got from this weekend. One of the things that has been impressed upon my heart in the last couple of years, call it motherhood, has been the kind of legacy that I am leaving behind. I'm going to say a lot and I talk with my hands just so you're aware, but as a mother, one of the hardest things for me is to, as a stay-at-home mom, that works and tries to juggle things. Motherhood in general is super tough, and if you work outside of the home, kudos to you because I cannot imagine trying to balance that at this moment. But one of the things about being a stay-at-home mom, it's feeling that little bit of isolation that kind of makes you go a little bit stir crazy. Not having a real conversation with adults on most days and your only conversation being with your toddler. I'm convinced that might be why my toddler talks the way that she does because it's just me and her most of the time. And we converse a lot and we're on the road a lot. We travel a lot with my husband and it's just us a lot of the time. And that was really after I had Reese how I got into being a coach was because that group kind of accountability gave me a sense of belonging. I was, trudging on alongside women that were going through postpartum journeys, that were trying to lose the baby weight, that, needed someone to talk to, that needed to understand how breastfeeding changes everything and how, your body's got to balance out all of these hormones and just so much stuff that people don't tell you before having a baby. There's a lot of things people don't tell you before having a baby. They tell you all the negative stuff, but they don't really tell you what to expect. And if they do, I don't know that I would have listened to them because I got terrible advice before I got married. So when it came time to having a kid, I was just like, okay, thanks, great, move on. But it does. It changes your world a whole lot. And ups and downs and late nights and early mornings and lack of sleep and crazy hormones and all of these things that just really shift your thinking. It can shift your thinking about how you feel about yourself. It can shift your thinking on how you see the world. It can shift and shape the way you do things, the things that you said you were never going to do, that all of a sudden, holy crap, I'm just like my mom. I'm doing things and saying things and things are coming out of my mouth and oh Lord, help me. Because I'm doing the one thing that I said I would never do. Like letting my kid watch Mickey Mouse because we've been in the car for 5 hours and she's losing her mind and I'm losing her mind or losing my mind. And sometimes you just do it. But the thing about being in charge of your legacy is understanding what that means. What kind of impact are you leaving on this world? And something that I have absolutely adored about being able to help women see themselves as more through my Women in Christ group, through coaching, even just through random Facebook conversations that I have, because people have referred me to other people, is that our legacy is what we decide it's going to be. I am empowered by being a mom and figuring out how to be a good Christian mom and wife and balance having a job and working inside the home and taking care of everything, and trying to impart some kind of spiritual wisdom on my child. It is one of the most stressful things I've ever done. And knowing that you constantly have someone watching every single thing that you do is overwhelming. And it's y'all watch everything that I do, and it's overwhelming. It's one of the things that I fear most, is letting someone down. And as much as I care about the people that follow me on social media, because I want them to see the authentic and the real, and that I'm a real person who hates laundry just like everyone else. And some days cereal is what we eat because mommy does not feel good, especially lately. But the kind of legacy that I want to leave behind is one that leaves people saying, yeah, she was a great person inside and out. She wasn't just someone that was someone that you see on Facebook, but then you don't ever really talk to in person, that she would ignore you in the grocery store, because I hate those people. I don't ever want to be one of those people. If you see me on Facebook and you come up to me at the grocery store, I'm awkward. I'm awkward. But I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to have a conversation with you, because your conversation with me matters. And I care about you, regardless whether we know each other or we're mere acquaintances through Facebook. I work with women all the time that I will never meet in person because they live across the state, or they live in Canada, or they live somewhere else. And holy moly, no wonder. There we go. Hey world, you can see me. I just realized that this was private, so we are now good gracious. But one of the things that I have found so important is taking care of myself. That is going to ultimately help me to leave a better legacy behind. Taking care of myself mentally and physically and emotionally and spiritually, and understanding when I need to be recharged. That is a huge thing. This weekend I had the great pleasure to go to the Propel Women's Conference in Dallas, and it was hands down probably the most wonderful thing I've ever done for myself since becoming a mom. I paid extra money for the VIP tickets, and I sat so close to the front. I literally could have touched most of the speakers. Probably would have been a little weirded out by it, but it was exactly what my heart needed. It was exactly, I needed to be filled, because I have been pouring and pouring and pouring, and I've been so sick for the last weeks, and I just felt so exhausted and overwhelmed, and it's what I needed. And sometimes as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as a servant, as someone who's in the world, you give and you give and you give and you give, and you have all of these people taking, and you never take time to fill yourself back up. And that's where I start to struggle, because I was struggling for a long time mentally, just wrapping my mind around trying to let God be in control of this pregnancy. After miscarrying, I was in so much doubt and still filled with so much fear. Like, my doctor can tell you, I told her, I feel like a hypochondriac, but every hiccup or pain or something, I'm going to the doctor because I'm freaking out. I still don't know what to expect. And I just felt drained by all of this. I just felt like I wasn't taking care of myself the way that I needed to be, the way that made me the, mom and wife and friend and sister and daughter and anybody that had anything good to say. I was just in a very bitter place. I unplugged from social media a lot. I pulled out of a lot of my groups, and I just stopped pouring into people. And it is one thing that makes me tick, is to pour into other people's lives, to serve other people, to show other people something different and something new. It's one thing that makes me thrive. I love teaching people. I could never teach children because I don't have the patience for that. But being able to share what I'm passionate about is something that, I mean, honestly, I think anyone could do it, but it's something that makes me tick. It's something that makes me get up in the morning. And then seeing, we're running a big group right now it's called the Holiday Quitzilla group. It's a group of women that are dedicated and committed to working out and taking care of themselves through the holidays so they don't get in that holiday funk. And there are women that are seeing non-scale victory after non-scale victory, diet changes happening, like all of these awesome things. And it just makes me proud. It makes me feel like I'm leaving something behind that my daughter can look at and tangibly say, you know, my mom did that. Or even just in my own journey, you know, she's been with me from the very beginning. She was the inspiration for it all. I lost 65 pounds after having her because I knew that one day my health and fitness was going to determine the kind of mom I was, the kind of energy I had, you know, whether or not I was in a good mood. And it did. And she became the main focus of that. I mean, you can look back at all my old videos of my first workouts, and she's in there right along with me. And she's dancing to the music, and she's rolling around on the floor. And now it's a little different because she's a little bit older and she's not as interested in it as she was. But that's the kind of legacy I'm building up for my daughter or my daughters. You know, and getting up in the morning and having that routine and spending quiet time alone and just mentally preparing myself for the day to take on things. It's just something that I need. And I feel like it's something that a lot of mamas need. I feel like it's something that a lot of women need. You need to have that time for yourself where you just sit and you collect your thoughts and you just get to spend a little bit of time alone figuring out who you are. I did the majority of that after getting married and having a child, and it's a lot harder. But it's something that is unfolding daily, and it's a beautiful journey, and it's something that I'm completely passionate about continuing with, especially into this pregnancy. It's the reason that I work out on the days that I don't want to. Medically, I've been released, so I can work out, so don't freak out. But it's a big push behind why I want to stay healthy in this pregnancy, why I want to live differently and authentically, is because I want people just like me to see that it's possible. And you've gone through hard things, and you're going to still go through hard things, but it's a matter of pushing through those hard things and understanding that there's going to be more on the other side of that. You're always going to deal with struggles. That's a part of life. It's a part of the human cycle. Like, struggles are going to come, you're going to be stressed out. But the difference in how you're going to handle those things is going to be how you're taking care of yourself. And I have to tune into my body in order to be in a good mental place. I'm not always positive Patsy. I'm not always super excited about things. The last couple of weeks, my husband's like, I wish you would just smile. I know you feel terrible, but I wish you would just smile. I'm like, yeah, me too. I can't even muster up the muscles for smiling. But long-winded, sorry y'all. But legacy, what is it? Who is it? What are you leaving behind? Why are you doing it? And where this idea came from and why I got off on this tangent. Saturday at the Propel conference, they sang this song. What is it? I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. It was a song that my great-grandmother taught us in Sunday school. And it was like Katie Carter, the Heat, was standing next to me. And I mean, it was an instant like ugly cry. All of these emotions came back because that woman left a legacy behind of just an incredible, faith-filled, get through the hard things, keep pushing, love people anyway, you know, tough as nails. And that's the kind of person I want to be remembered as, you know. But and my cousins and my sisters and my aunts and uncles, I can all tell you, when you think about Nana, the one thing you think about is all the Sunday school songs she taught us, all the crazy crafts we did at her house, the way that she just poured into people. She was the ultimate servant. She was salty, but she loved people. And that's the kind of legacy I want to leave behind. I don't know if you have a grandmother or great-grandmother like that. I know I have a friend whose great-grandmother just passed, and her memory of her is similar to how I feel about Nana. But it's just one of those things that when you think about that person, it's just like, that's the things I will always remember about her. And so entering into my mid-20s, I know, I'm so young, whatever. It's something that has really weighed heavily on my mind. I still have half of my life to live, over half of my life to live. I may not even be in my prime right now, according to the amazing women that lead this world in, Christian movements. But it's got to start somewhere, and it's got to start with you. It had to start with me. It's got to continue with me. You got to take those hard times, and you got to figure out how to get through them. And you got to figure out how to prosper through them. I hashtag a lot of things, prosper where he plants you. You have to prosper where God plants you, because there's a reason that you're planted there. That thing is supposed to grow you into something different. It's supposed to show you something. It's supposed to teach you something. It's going to suck more than likely, because there are a lot of, like, why am I here moments. But once you figure that out and you grow and you learn something, it's like, oh, and then you'll have someone put in your path that needed exactly what you had to go through. They needed that wisdom. And that's usually what the lesson behind it was. This is why you had to go through something. Because it makes your testimony awesome. So, last shameless plug I'm going to do before I get off here. I'm going to open it up for questions and just ask anyone if they have any questions. I've been on here for 15 minutes now, and this is relatively short compared to what I normally do. But do you have questions? Do you have questions for me? Do you have comments, hearts, likes, whatever? I only see one of you on here now. I hope that many more of you have tuned in. But if not, I'm going to sit here for a second, and you can ask any question you want. And stay tuned tomorrow, because I will do another live broadcast. Is tomorrow Wednesday? It's Wednesday. For Quarter Force. It's not really wasn't about coaching that much. It kind of was, but it wasn't. But I'll be talking about the new program that I have been doing and giving away a free copy of it. So stay tuned tomorrow for that. If you have questions, you're back. Good. If you have questions, post them in the comments. If you have comments, post them in the comments. I hope you guys have had a great Tuesday. I honestly didn't know today was Tuesday until like 30 minutes ago. Turns out. But I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.